Hello, welcome to new synth anatomy video. Today I want to check out Europa, the first VST AU synthesizer by the developers of Reason. Europa is a spectral wavetable synthesizer with very sound design oriented features and a very unique sound quality. Before I jump into the engine, I give you some sound demos. Europa is based on 3 engines, 1, 2 and 3, and each has the same features. So it's based on an oscillator block with a modifier 1 and modifier 2, a spectral filter and an unison feature. Let's check out here the wave, and starting point is here you have classic virtual analog, like basic analog here. And what is here powerful, you can, for each wave or engine, you have a shaping function, so you can morph through the different waves. But you have also here complete different stuff like game, which goes in the 8-bit section. You have also format. That goes more in vocal. Especially great here for plugged or more percussive sounds is here the coupler strong engine. Then you have also FM, different types of FM, like this one. Then you have also wavetables, that takes here complex. And the shaping index here as traveler, so you travel through to the wavetable. Then you have also a user wave, so you can import own samples. For example, I take here a mono piano and take here the wave smooth. So you can import own samples and create own waveforms. And this happens here in the user wave section. Then you have here octave, semitone, tune, and keyboard tracking, or key pitch keyboard. Then you have here for each wave, what is very powerful, 2 different modifiers. And each modifier has, for example, sync, hard sync, mirror, downsample. Let's take, for example, here different, again, a basic analog. And take here the modifier, and then we can fold it. So this remembers me of these complex oscillators which are available in the Eurorack world. Then you have here quantize. You have phase distort. You have harmonics. FM and formant. So they are the same in modifier 2, and the amount can be also modulated here with an LFO, an envelope, and more. Then this goes then to the spectral filter, and this interacts not like a normal filter, but it goes in the harmonics. So you can add harmonics, remove them, and so you can create very powerful and unique waveforms here. So let's add here maybe a vocal formant. And you can also add here harmonics with different types, odd, even, stretch, ensemble, and more. And also this section can be modulated by the envelope, also with the velocity, and you can change here the position and amount. In the final you have also a unison feature. Let's click this and then go to unison. So you have fifth, normal, fourth, and many others. And you have also 4 different parameters: count, blend, detune, and spread. So you have many possibilities to work here with unison. And each engine has here its own unison. So you can use 3 oscillators, each with a different unison. And all 3 engines goes then in a mixer section here. So you can use 1 engine, 2 or 3, or all together, and then pan them, and then they will be routed in the filter, and you can choose if they get routed in the filter or not. And here you have a classical filter, for example a ladder filter. But you have also a high pass filter, band pass, low pass, and with different characteristics, MFB, SVF, and others. And you have resonance, a drive section. You have also keyboard tracking. You can modulate it with envelopes, LFOs, and more. And also you can add to the modulation a velocity. This goes then to the amp section, and in the amp section you have a classical ADSR with a pan, gain, and a velocity. And then you have also master volume with up to 8 voice or more. You see here up to 16 voice even. Another powerful feature of Europa are the envelopes. You have 4 envelopes here, and what makes it very powerful here is you can use them as normal envelope, but also customizable them completely. So you can put here points in it, and then make your own envelopes, and then create very experimental one, so they can be used for crazy modulation, for example. You can change also here the shape, and you can change also the X position of the envelopes very easily here. So it's made here very handy, and it works without hassle. And one cool feature is here you can use them also in the loop mode. So you can use them as normal envelope, or also in form as an LFO. And it goes very high. You see here it goes very high, and it goes also very, very slow. So you can, if you don't have enough LFOs here, you can use the envelopes also for advanced modulations. You have here also key trigger, bipolar, and global. And you have also here a sustain feature, where you can put here the sustain in it, and what is very handy also. Then you have also here a preset section. We have 20 different shapes for the envelopes. Maybe let's take this one. And let's take here an envelope 1. Put it on engine 1's shape. I take here 77. And it sounds like this. Maybe another waveform. So you see you can create very cool sounds with these envelopes. Let's take maybe another one. So you are very freely here how to interact with the envelopes. What is very powerful here, and you have here 4 times the envelopes. What is also for me, so Europa is in my opinion a real monster in terms of envelopes. Then you have on the right side also the LFOs, and these have more classical waveforms, but also more crazy ones. But if you want more crazy stuff, you go to the envelopes. You have also your delay function, also a beat sync with key sync and global. And for making this all happens here with the modulation and LFO, you have here also a modulation matrix, which makes it very easily to map the different parameters to the targets. You have here also a scale function, and so it makes it very easily for everyone, for beginners and for more advanced users. Last but not least, you have also an effect section, and these effects are more standard, so they are not very crazy or experimental. So you have here a classic reverb, a compressor, a delay, an EQ, distortion with ring mod, sample and hold, tube, scream or distortion, also a chorus, flange or a phaser, and this can be also used once, so only the chorus, only the flanger or the phaser. So on the left side you have also the pitch and the mod, key mode, poly, retrigger and legato, and the portamento. Not to forget, you can also modulate here the effects very easily. You can do here to delay, for example, reverb, so it's very easily here. Also cool to notice here, you have also sources like performance oriented for breath, expression, aftertouch, so you can use them also with a Roller keyboard. I think I'll give you now a good overview of the Europa engine. Let's check out more sound demos now of this new synthesizer by the Propellerhead Software team. I hope you get a good sound overview of Europa. It's important to know there is also a free version available on the website of Propellerhead Software in the browser, where you can try Europa, the sound engine and some of the presets. So it's a good way to offer everyone the possibility to try this new synthesizer. And in my opinion, the Europa is a great sounding synth with a great sound quality. And for me, very important here is the sounds are very detailed. You can go very deep here with the different shapers, and it's especially great for sound designers. Also, it's cool that Europa is low on CPU consumption. Even on my MacBook Pro, which is from 2012, it's very low. It's under 10%, what is amazing for such a new synthesizer and such a powerful synth. Also, a big plus for Europa is here the big modulation section, where you can create very sophisticated envelopes and very interesting modulations on the parameters. So it's for beginners, but also for sound designers or for more professional users. Also, I love here that the interface is all on one interface and not on multiple pages. So you see directly where the changes are. There are only pages on the engine here, but it's a nice made that you can switch to the different engines, but everything other is here on one screen, so it's very nice made. My critics for Europa are small. I miss here an arpeggiato or sequencer, so if you want to use to create now a sound like a sequencer, you must use the envelopes, and I miss here the possibility to use multiple user waves. So if you put now here mono piano, you can only use it in the waves and in the spectral filter. So you can use two different waves at the same time. So for example, you can use here in user wave one wave and a spectral filter a second one. It's always the same, and it's a bit pity for sound designers. So it would be cool to see this in the future if the developers will add more possibilities here to use user waves. Also, the same applies to the engines. They are always the same user waves. Nonetheless, Europa is a powerful synth with a lot of sound design possibilities. Because many of you will ask, is Europa now a killer or a competitor for Serum? In my opinion, not, because both are very different. Europa goes more in the West Coast direction, where we took a waveform and add harmonics, and in the section of Serum, it's more we take two oscillators, put a filter on it, envelopes and effects. So it's a bit different compared to Europa. In Europa you have many different modifiers or shapers, you have a spectral filter, so it goes more in this West Coast direction. So you have here many different ways to transform waveforms, what is not so possible in Serum in the same depth. So seen for me, Europa goes more in the West Coast, Serum more in the East Coast. It would be cool to discuss with you this discussion. What do you think, Europa goes more in this West Coast or East Coast, or is it the combination? And how do you like Europa? Is it a synth for you, or do you prefer Serum or another synth? So please let me know in the comments below, what do you think? And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a positive thumb and a subscription for more future videos. And don't forget to join the Patreon page for exclusive sound content, monthly giveaways and much more. Big thanks for watching, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next videos. Bye!